Yo, what's good, everybody? Happy Thursday. It's another trading day, and oh boy, everything is dumping really hard. Yesterday we had Google earnings, we had Tesla earnings, we had Now earnings, and Google's down 7%. It was down, I think, 8% earlier. Tesla is taking a huge hit today. It's down almost, I think it was just down 15% just a minute ago. Dropped below 320. We have not seen that since, I think, last year. I think it was last summer. It was last summer. So yeah, big hit being taken here on Tesla. I do apologize in advance. My mic might not sound the best. I'm at my temporary setup here after my dad had his stroke, so things are a bit of a mess. Turnout today's probably going to be a little low since I haven't run one of these in, what has it been, like 2 months? So yeah, I mean, the awful mic noise is going to be temporary, just for a couple months. But I do want to get back to doing these regularly. I know a lot of folks enjoyed them, so yeah, we're gonna do our best. If you guys have any questions or want me to take a look at something, go ahead, just type it in the chat. I'll take a quick look at it. No trade. No, I'm going to be taking some trades. I wanted to sit out and wait until the majority of the dump had finished in the market. I don't think we're quite done yet. But what I am going to be doing in the stream is going over more of like the long-term outlook, because things are starting to look a little spicy now. There's some important levels that we're starting to lose. And the whole semiconductor and like AI sector is a bit shaky at the moment. You do have like Micron and SanDisk did make fantastic bounces, right? I mean, we saw Micron go from 800 to, 1,000 in just a few days, right? Like a whole $200 move back up. And that was like perfectly here, right? But as a whole, the market is looking a bit interesting. We're starting to lose. This was something I was talking about. What was it? A week or so ago when we originally fell below here. This is not good. This is not good at all. So, yeah, I mean, if we're going to play as a pattern, you would target, where's my shoot? You would target here, right? And then if that fails, you're looking at like a much larger market pullback, right? I don't think we're going to lose the gains from that whole massive April run up at all. But I do think we'll see something similar to what we saw right here. This was the perfect example that I could come up with, was like this situation, right? We had something similar before that, ever so small, when everybody thought the top was in. Actually, it wasn't so small, but, a decent 10% pullback on ES. But the one that does look a little worse is the NASDAQ, right? The NASDAQ obviously contains a lot more tech and stuff. This is a much, much uglier chart compared to ES. The important spot to watch here actually is right here, right? And if we lose this, that's a plenty of room down, right? Once again, I don't think we would necessarily lose the entire April run up, but definitely could see some solid pullbacks. Still holding AA. Yes, some runners. I'm like up 30% right now on them. I look for Amazon into earnings. Let's take a look at good old Amazon. It's down today, 5%, right? We got earnings coming up on, what, next Thursday or so? This is a gap here that needs to be filled. I'm bullish. I said this last week. I'm bullish on Amazon for earnings, right? I do think this stock should at least be above 260 by the end of, probably by the beginning of like fall, like November, October. I would like to see this back up to 260. Checking in on, well, let's take a look at my other swings that I'm currently in, right? I still like this one. I think I may have caught the bottom here. We'll see. I literally picked this up when the RSI was down, when it fell below, right? So picked it up. I think I may have caught the bottom here. We'll see. What it might try to do is it might try to form like a bear flag or something, which would suck. But if it does, then we'll know to exit beforehand. I mean, those already went up like 95%. I'm out of the majority of my position for that. The other one was Clove, right? Once again, I caught this here at the low. Probably stop loss at break even on the rest of these. I was hoping for a continuation in the overall trend, a break over all-time high. I wanted to see $6. I'm not sure if we'll get that now, looking at the overall market. The other one was Peloton. This one isn't doing so well for me. I caught it here, right? Went up a little bit, and then it's now back down, right? Still holding on to those. The other one is TSLL shares that I entered today. This is more of a, I want to get some exposure into Tesla without too much exposure. This one's risky because of the leverage, right? But I feel like it's an opportunity for the time being to get a little bit of exposure into Tesla. Now, I think I'm slightly down because I did get in at like 795-ish. And it honestly might be worth picking up more. We'll see. But I wouldn't take an ad until probably more like the lower $7. And I'm not too heavy in this to even care too much about it, I guess you could say. The thing is to like, everyone has to understand the PE ratio, it is high on Tesla, right? I love Tesla. I think it will go back to 400 quick, but it's a little overvalued, in my opinion. It's kind of like SpaceX. I think SpaceX was overvalued. I even said that multiple times, that SpaceX was overvalued. Like, you can have as much hope as you want in a company and be like, oh, this is it. This is the future, you know, but unless they provide numbers, you know, and it's actually like factual, I don't know, something like tangible that you can see success, then if that's not there, then eventually stock price will catch up or drop, which in Tesla's case it's dropping. The important part is that we don't lose 300. I think if we lose 300, it's really going to suck. That would not be good at all. Now let's go take a brief look at some possible day trading positions. I don't, this level, yeah, so you can see the 35.50 level actually perfectly bounced on that. I should have had an alert there. I don't know why I didn't get an alert. That was where I wanted to go long. Okay, well, it bounced right where I literally planned on going long, so that sucks. Wow, that's actually unfortunate because that might have been low of day. However, I think we'll see somewhat of a bounce today, eventually. I think Google's going to pull through, if I'm being honest, and eventually try to... Yeah, so Google's already starting. I think Google is going to probably back up into the 320s. I'm thinking back up into the 320s today. Oh, the giveaway for the reviews, I'm going to be taking care of those today. So do not worry, people. I got you. INTC, Intel. They have earnings today, I think, right? Yeah, they do. That's a bear flag. Well, yeah, I think a little lower. You can see I already had this level drawn out. This is actually going back to the analysis that I posted on X, that this zone here was going to be the strongest support, right? It was here, and then I expected a chop. I think Intel earnings are going to be good. I think we'll be back up to like 110 after today. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen, but I'm just saying I expect it to go to 110, right? Actually, I'm going to put that in the Discord. I expect INTC. Yeah, the volume is picking up. I think, like I said, I think this isn't a straight down day. I think Google is going to help. I don't think Tesla's going to help much. But if we see, I think we can return back up to here to 740 pretty quick. Yesterday was the perfect tap of 750, right? Exactly what I had expected, and also expected the. Why am I on the 1 minute? Also expected the pullback, right? And you can see that today. Sorry, I'm like scrolling in and out so much. Wrong day. Here we are. Hit 750, rejected, and it's just been straight down, right? So that was the most perfect rejection of 750 possible. If this does dip a little lower here, for the record, I'm probably going to attempt going long. The problem is the price on calls is so expensive right now. Like, let me take a look at the options chain. Well, they're not too bad. IV isn't too high on these. I don't know. I don't feel comfortable going long just yet. Just in case there is more of a dump, right? I mean, I do like that 5-minute candle down there, and that's a not so nice 15-minute candle, but still, we're just sitting here watching, right? Sometimes it's better to just let these dumps finish playing out, and usually it takes a couple hours for that to happen. Now we are a couple hours into market open, and these are the days where I'm typically, you see me chatting in the Discord like, hey, I might think of doing swings today because that's the smarter choice, right? Yeah, but it's a bloodshed today. Sorry, I'm just scrolling my X feed. You know what? We could try going long here. It's going to have to be pretty light, though. Like, I don't think there's too much downside move left. I don't know. I might get completely cooked on these. I'm trying to see which one I want to go for. I mean, probably the 739 would be the smarter choice. Oh, I wanted to catch it right there. I don't know. I almost want to let these burn a little bit longer. Let's take a look at some swings. We'll distract ourselves. AA down, right? Weeble down. Everything down. Lots of red. T-Doc is down. Oh, by the way, I did stop out of the T-Doc calls, but that was at break even because I had already taken profit. The other one I wanted to get into was UPS, actually. That was down here. So I think if we get back to like 110, I'll definitely grab some UPS. If you hear a little bit of yelling in the background, that is my baby sister. So I have to go check on her real quick. All right. Yeah, I did look at Peloton. Yeah, so I think a good majority of you already know, but I am the oldest of 12. So ever since I came back home, right, temporarily, to help take care of my dad after his stroke, I've been having to like deal with all my younger siblings again, which is amazing because it brings back a lot of like childhood memories and stuff. But my baby sister she's only like 4 years old, so. And she's very loud and spoiled. Yeah, so Peloton, like I was saying, it's I'm still holding it. Let's take a look at Hims. Hims was on a nice run, and then I don't know what happened. It just stopped. It ran into this resistance up here. Actually, I used to have a zone I used to have a zone drawn out, and it's not here. But took a rejection. I think Hims will be back in the 50s by the end of this year, as long as the bull market continues, which it should continue. There's no reason why it wouldn't. By the way, I am keeping an eye on SPY still. I think it goes a little lower. I think it goes to 36. I think Google's bouncing though. I just got an alert on Google. Yeah, Google is bouncing. Which is great for the market because that was the one that I expected to help the overall bounce. And Tesla is back over 320 again. So I'm waiting right now. I'm not pulling any trigger just yet. But I am watching. Let's take a look at a swing. One I did want to try possibly getting was Macy's again. I feel like this should be in the high 20s. In my opinion. There was another one as well. Oh, by the way, stay away from on. This chart looks horrible. And I'm pretty sure this comes back down to the low 70s. Pins is another one that I think could be good. Pen is a lot of chopping, but I think this is Head and Shoulders, right? Let's take a quick look at now, service now. I did analysis on this one. What was it? A couple days ago, but I think that it returns back up to 105 ish, and even like 110. Like I would fully expect to move back up to 110. And honestly, I'm surprised that we didn't get back above 100 on earnings, but I guess they weren't too good in a way. I don't know. Kind of odd. I do trade gold and silver, yes, but more from like GLD or SLV, right? And I do trade them, but I stopped trading silver as much after the whole silver fiasco, right? When we hit 120 on silver, I don't know, fizzled out like a couple months after that. I don't know, I just kind of got sick of the slower movement. It was enjoyable while the crazy movement lasted, right? Gold is good. I actually have a few long-term gold positions, but I do think if the war kicks up again, we might see some of those prices go up naturally. Still keeping an eye on SPY. You know, you wouldn't have even made that much from puts this morning, if I'm being honest, on SPY, right? The IV was so high from the drop that we didn't even see that much of a gain in the options, right? They're just burning away right now. Like what this is doing right now in this like nice 50-cent range or 50-cent little chop right here in the last few minutes, I was keeping an eye on the 738 call, and it already burned like 10% of it, right? And the stock price hasn't even moved. So, what ticker is for Google? Is it A or C? They're both. You could just go. You got this one, right? You got this one, and I think there's another way to trade Google, but exactly what I said. What did I say? It was like back here, right? That I said I expect Google to bounce. It's doing it right now. I didn't pick up any Google calls because they're way too expensive, and the IV is still burning, right? Google price is going up. Google options, not so much. You're going to see a lot of high premiums today because of the sharp drop, right? I mean, the VIX is up 20% today, or we literally got above 20, right? It's a good day to sell options if you're an options seller, which, by the way, we are actively working on for Altori, getting some new, option sellers into the Discord. You guys can see we have Valerie, right? Valerie is a fantastic trader that we brought along over from X, and she's a fantastic option seller. I think she focuses a lot on like Iron and NBIS, which are great stocks for selling options on. There's a couple other ones as well, but that's not something that I like to do a lot of, like naked calls, naked puts. Yeah, so going back to the volatility of the market, it's pretty volatile right now, but I want to wait a little bit. Tesla's looking good here. It's back above 320. I don't know if the low of day is in yet for the market, because we could very well just like go straight back down, right? We'll see. The important thing to watch right now is VWAP on a lot of these stocks. But if SPY can pull this breakout, I'll probably pick up some calls, but I would prefer going probably like a few days out, if I'm being honest. Brent oil, WTI. Oil is going through the roof, right? And this was exactly what was expected. I'm not sure how many of you read my post yesterday about Iran and the oil. It was actually a whole thread that I had created. Go on X, take a look at it. I talked about this very situation, right? It's just in a slow, steady grind up. And it's actually following that band on the VWAP pretty nicely. How about Costco stock? The one that I keep saying they need to split because it's too expensive to play. And I really want to play it. Double top here. Back down, probably into the high 800s. Thoughts on Meta? I'm actually working on an analysis post right here for this, but I feel like it's going to go a little lower before earnings and then a nice bounce on earnings. Last earnings, it took a massive hit. I think this earnings, we're going to see a lovely bounce. JetBlue is another one that might be a good bounce. Another one to keep an eye on for is Raytheon, right? That's up 8% today. It looks like it's going to break its all-time high at around 214, 215. So this could be fantastic. The problem is the IV on RTX is really high, but the breakout will be there. I do feel like it's going to break out. Let me see if I can find a way to share my X feed. Just excuse me for just a second. I'm trying to add this. Can I add this? Hold up. I might be tripping. Oh, I can. There we go. I have like all my setup is all over the place, so it's taking me a bit to get reorganized. Okay, sweet. There we go. Okay, what was I talking about? Oh, Raytheon. Yeah, a Raytheon breakout is coming. That might have been the low of day on SPY, actually. Because it's looking pretty good now. I think Google is continuing to drag it back up because Google's back up, what, 320? That's exactly what I said I wanted, so it's perfect. By the way, congratulations to everyone who did take Google puts, Tesla puts, market as a whole puts. You guys did a great job. I didn't play any earnings. I was too scared, if I'm being honest. Like, I thought Google was going to be flat. I originally wanted to take Google calls, which I'm glad I didn't. But I thought Google was going to be flat. I was almost fully convinced. And it was looking correct for a little bit until, what was it, like a couple hours after the report? I don't know, then it just dumped. But Google is sitting back here at 320. Yeah, that is true. The memory stocks are really strong today. It's actually incredible how they've been holding up pretty well. MU's up. Micron's almost sitting right here at 1,000, right? SanDisk, I'm going to SNXX, by the way, because that's one of my biggest holdings right now. By the way, this is a great, if you want a fun memory stock to play, SNXX is a really fun one, right? It moves. It moves crazy. And for those of you who are um in my Discord, you guys have seen me play this. I mean, I think I made like 50% on stock price alone in 3 days. Right? I caught this move right here. From like it was at $17 to $29. So this stock moves fast. I mean, right off the low here to back up to here is 50%, right? It's a fast moving stock. I enjoy this one. And I still think SanDisk and Micron are undervalued. I think there's opportunities there. How do you locate symbols that you like to trade? Like the tickers. Like, how do I pick which tickers I want? Am I gonna have plays for Palantir for their earnings? That's probably gonna be a really expensive one, honestly. But Palantir did have that nice bounce after, I think it was after Michael Burry sold his short position, because everybody is a freaking idiot and thinks Michael Burry's is smart or something. I don't know. Anyways, it bounced in June, right? Came up to 140, back down here, and I think earnings will put it back at 140. Dump into earnings, possibly around this area, into the teens again, and then we go back up to 140. It'd probably be smarter to go leaps on these. I think I'm gonna take a snag at some Weeble calls, honestly. The uptrend is nice. We broke the previous resistance, right? I don't know why my drawings aren't showing, but we should be headed back up to here, almost $9. So I'm gonna take some calls here. I'll probably take. Let me see. I will take. If my Robinhood will load, sheesh. Oops. Sorry, I got distracted with spy calls. Let's take a look at, we'll go a month out to the 21st of August and probably snag the $8 call sitting around 0.58. And that will be the one I will go for. Bull. $8 call for August 21st at 0.58. Boom. It's just basically I pick from most trending stocks because recently I like to go with more tickers that have more volume, right? So I stick with some tickers that have high volume. And ones that are on usually a specific trend. I typically avoid in my watch list, I avoid going for stocks that are just chopping or in ranges for months. I prefer seeing trends, right? So I went for those Weeble calls. I might pick up some TSLL calls as well. Uh, 503, if you can't see it, you should be able to see it. I'm not. Do me a favor, shoot me a DM on Discord. Because it may have been an error when we had that Discord sweep. Shoot me a DM. Because that's kind of weird. It shouldn't have kicked you out. All right, let's go to TSLL. Let's see how it's doing. Oh, well, it's back above $8. See, I'm really tempted to go for a $10 call in September because I feel like it could get back above. The question is that low? Oh, remastered. Yeah, dude, hold on. Give me a second. Give me 1 second. I'll make a note and then I'll... Yeah, so the question here on TSLL is this the low here, right? From a day, this is a good area to start adding. That's a nasty gap that needs to be filled. It's all up to Tesla, really, but I don't know. I just feel like it's too ridiculous of a drop. It seems like way too ridiculous of a drop. Way over dramatic. I think there's probably a lot of profit taking place. You know what? Yeah, we're gonna do it. We're gonna go TSLL calls. We're gonna go. It's down what 26% today. We're gonna go for the $9 call. Probably for like later August. Probably same expiration date, like the 21st. Seems reasonable. If we go for the $9 call, they're sitting at like 0.49 right now. Probably take some spreads too. We'll see. Yeah, let's go for these. I like this. TSLL, August 31st, $9 calls as a swing play. That's buying into the dip. Now we don't go too heavy here, obviously, because it's still a little expensive and it is Tesla, right? And this is the leveraged Tesla, so it's definitely risky. But I like these. You can get filled some at like 48, 49-ish. Remastered. Let me get you set up. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. That's you probably got accidentally thrown in the sweep. Yeah, no kidding. Honestly, Apple might be a good dip buy as well. Yeah, we'll see if we caught a good price here. And this thing was down 30% at one point. That's crazy. Absolutely insane. Well, we'll see where that goes. Not that one. This one. The SPY did pull that breakout right. I got distracted with the swings, but exactly what I said. The confidence here. It retested and then took off. Right. It's about $1 up from there. Let me take a look at the SPY calls though. Nah, they're hardly moving. I mean, if you got the low of day, it would have been nice, but like overall, I think Google is what is the reason why. I mean, exactly what I said originally expected. Yeah, originally what I expected was Google was going to start slowly dragging this up. You really have to thank memory today too, because if memory were red, imagine how bad the market would be. It'd be really bad. All right, start looking for some day trades. If we come up here, probably a good chance to short for a pullback. Why is this sidebar so big? How many of you caught Tesla puts? I'm just curious. I genuinely want to know. What else can we take a stab at? I think 0.51 is fine. I think anything below like 0.55 should be okay, I think. If this got back up to 870 today, I'd be happy. Which I think it can. We'll see. I am very grateful that memory is up today. It's really paying off. Like, a lot. Ideally, what we'd want to see is a move back up to 740 on SPY. I think that's important. And I'm not entirely sure this Tesla dump is finished. If it keeps dumping more, then I'll probably add more TSLL. But for the time being, it's still in an overall downtrend, right? This has been a really quick drop from the highs, or from the not the high, but this level here, like 400. We lost 400 really quick, and it just like full on, just like completely fell through. Yeah. So I talked about energy yesterday, about how it's probably due for another big run up, and that's exactly what it's doing today, right? Brent oil is up high. WTI is up high. Some stocks like BP and KMI are starting to see really strong uptrends again. You're probably going to see CVX eventually break all-time highs if oil continues in this direction. If the war continues, right? It's pulled almost like a 20%. I think it actually has pulled a 20% bounce. Yeah. So I don't think the run in energy is done yet. It's not looking so good. It's not looking so good at all. Random thought, but I have to create a TikTok account. That is. Options heat map legend. Interesting. Oh, someone did catch a Tesla put. 144%. That's it? On a 15% drop? I'm not saying, I'm not making fun of the position. I'm more confused on why the cons aren't worth more. It's weird. The cons should be worth more. Goodness gracious. That looks like a bull flag now. It's starting to bull flag. Which is good for TSLL calls, right? You know what we haven't checked? We haven't checked NVIDIA today. Interesting. Very interesting. There's Google. Google's grinding higher. I said Google would be the first one to pull a strong bounce, and it has. So we'll see if that continues. Oh, I'm going to be running that small account challenge. So if you guys know any like influencers that want to participate, or that maybe you can ask to participate in it, just like tag them in the comments on my X. But I'm gonna be running a competition. We're gonna see these people fight each other. I'm actually I forget her account. I think it's Finn. I was trying to get her to come over to what do you call it? Altori, right? She's new on X, and she was running like a small account, like you fight against AI sort of thing, like which influencers would be AI, and I got paired up with Grok, I think it was. Yeah, I got paired up with Grok, and Grok picked MU, right? I picked SNXX, right? And I think Grok's beating me right now because I actually got in SNXX at around like 20, a little over 20. So Grok is actually winning right now. The nice part is if memory continues upwards, then I should win because this is a leverage. So it's 2 times SanDisk. We'll see though. Can you drop your indicators in Discord? They're actually going to be in the new Altori tool that we're going to be releasing. So the new Altori tool is going to be something that none of you guys have ever seen. It's very advanced. It's going to include some features like memory zones, advanced JEX charts. There's a lot of math behind these levels and these zones. So it's going to be much more advanced than just your typical JEX charts or supply and demand indicators. Well, SPY's still going. Man, I'm trying to decide whether that's the bottom or not. At least temporary bottom. I'm talking about like for today, right? What is your expected date for release? It's going to be at least a couple months out. I keep saying, well, I'm hoping for like fall, maybe slightly a bit beforehand. It's going to be its own client, so we're developing a client that is going to include all these indicators and these this math basically already pre-built in. The data is so dense that what we may do is only have like a certain amount of tickers, such as like the Mag 7 or like maybe the top trending 50 tickers, right? Originally installed into it. As we continue to expand, right? And SPY calls are really taking off here, by the way. I honestly might, if we take a dip, I'll take a shot at some SPY calls. Tesla's doing well. Google's doing well. But going back to Altori, yeah, so it'll be in a couple months. We also have to get a lot of legal stuff in order as well, because we are pulling data from the exchange, right? So there will be, we still have to make some agreements and just legal stuff overall. Is the Altori tool going to be a separate cost in the VIP Discord? Also, is it going to be, as for the cost, we'll see. It depends on which data we're pulling and how much of it. That's a big we'll see. We probably won't know at least for the next month or so, I think. Also, is it going to be usable, accessible for beginners, or the Discord is still going to be the best place for noobs? No, the Altori client will be the best place for everything. And we're even trying to find a way to make it our own platform as well, so that Discord will no longer be necessary, I guess, in a way, for Altori, which is perfect for the future of our community as a whole. So yeah, it'll be our own client in a lot of ways. With a lot of stuff pre-built in as well, which will make, I guess the community experience as a whole much better with live data and stuff. We may even, depending on the size of it and how much data we are pulling, we'll see. This is a lot of we'll see because we're still testing a lot of things, but we may even have our own like charting platform installed into the client as well. Basically, we're trying to provide a client or a platform that, reduces your costs for having to pay for other things, other charting platforms, options data platforms, basically just that it's all in a single platform. It's more of alongside our, special math that we're working on for catching, moves in the market. It's more of going to be like an efficiency platform as well, just to have everything there. Of course, it won't be a broker, but it'll be pretty close for everything you would need for data involving the stock market, right? And the more members we get, obviously, the more data we can provide, not just for the stock market or futures, but expanding into crypto and other markets as well. If there's going to be bad earnings on Intel today, can we expect another pullback? Absolutely. If Intel earnings are bad today, you're going to see you're definitely going to see another leg down tomorrow, without a doubt. I think the market is expecting Intel to have a nice bounce, but if it drops like a good 4 to 5%, yeah, we're definitely going to see another red day tomorrow, at least another percent down on the S&P 500. What's the best MU leverage? You're looking at a stock called MOL. This is your Granite Shares 2 times long MU daily ETF. This is times 2, the MU stock price. This is your MU leverage stock. This is the one you want to go for. So yeah, for SanDisk, you have SNXX, right? That's your 2 times leverage. And for MU, it's MOL, right? Let's take a look at SPY. Yeah, if it takes a dip, I'll probably go long. I'm just really cautious on day trading today. Super risky. What are 2 times leverage good for? It's good for... I have a bit of a different strategy on how I play leverages. I like to... Well, I don't need to talk about that because that really doesn't... I don't need to explain that for your answer or for your question. But to answer your question, they're good for short-term holds, right? You don't want to hold leverage stocks, in my opinion, longer than a couple months. It's not good for your portfolio. It's not good for the stock price. It basically deteriorates slowly over time, and in some ways. But they're excellent for short-term holds. Now, you don't typically play options on... I mean, I don't see it very often, playing options on leverage stocks. I like to play them on TSLL because I have some pretty good success playing TSLL options. But typically, you would just buy a lot of the leverage stock if you're expecting a larger move on the stock price. And it multiplies the percentage by 2 is all it does, right? Man, I don't know if we're going to get this dip. Please dip. Yeah, so leverage stocks are good for short-term holds. See how Meta's doing. Yeah, the market as a whole bounced, which is good. Because I think NQ was down like 2% earlier. No, it was down like 2.5%. Because we got Qs below 700 again. But like I said, the Qs look worse than the S&P. Like, a lot worse. If memory decides to take a nasty dip, like a nasty one, alongside with these tech earnings not going so well, yeah, we're going to have a market pullback, without a doubt. It's going to trigger a lot of selling, which will be good because it won't be a stock market crash. It'll be another opportunity to buy more. I don't think people understand that every dip right now, especially while Trump is president, is just a buying opportunity. That man will go to his grave trying to pump the market by any means necessary. And I mean that genuinely. He's going to make sure that while he's president, this stock market remains green. Now, when it comes down to his final year, or maybe even the next president, this market is definitely going to need a pullback, without a doubt. And it's going to need a really strong pullback. So I love how people on X think I'm a permabull and I just want the stock market to go up for infinity. Like, yeah, that would be awesome, but I'm also a realist and I understand that the market does need a pullback. It's just not going to happen with this guy. It won't happen. And the folks need to understand that. By the way, Micron is back at 1,000 right now. We'll see if we get a psychological rejection. I doubt it. I think we blast to 116 quick. I need to move some money to Weeble again. Well, I mean, into another Weeble account so that I can just take some degen plays here on the live stream. I think that would be funny for everyone. Meta still going. Tesla kind of slowed down. We'll see if we chop and they maybe fall. Google's still going. Spy's not dipping. I want to dip bad. And low key, that looks like a bull flag again. Would I be stupid to go long here? Am I missing a good opportunity? What did I say? 740 and then a possible pullback? What to do? What to do? I might give it a shot. I might just give it a shot. What are these? The 741? $741 sitting around 0.70. Or we go for the 740, which is sitting right. Actually, let's go for the 740 right now. I'm going to try it. $740 calls right under 100. 1.00. This is risky, by the way. I got a 0.97. 9.5 to 9.7 around that area. Oh, actually, we can get better fills. 90. It's risky. But it's fun. 0 DT, so be careful. Oh man, look at that. Already bouncing. Already bouncing. So the goal here now is we want to see with these calls. We want to see... I want to at least see 740. Oh man, this is bouncing nicely. Okay, calls are up to 107. Let's see if this holds. Let's see if this holds. I think it's a bull flag. I think. I think it's a bull flag. And we want 740 here. Nice. Nice. We need it to break. It needs to break. No. No. Wrong way. Dude, you're supposed to go up. Well, we're up like almost 10%. This is a bull flag, though, without a doubt. It's a bull flag. The question is whether it plays out or not, and I think that'll be up to, Meta and Google. If I'm being honest. Ooh. That's a nasty rejection. Well, let's go take a look at Google. Google's still going. Wait, that's not Google. What the heck is that? And Google's going down too. Oh, there we go. Boom. There's the spikes. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Start taking profit. It's at 120. That's nice. That was easy. 120. Let's take some trims. Place your stop loss at 0.90. Easy. Now, is it going to hit 740? That's the question. It's like 30% on SPY, by the way. So I'm happy with that. We'll see if we get more. It would be nice if we do. I think we can. I think we can get up to 740. Stop loss is at 0.90, so if it doesn't work out, then it's fine. We shall see. We shall see. Yeah, it's dipping. Maybe it'll retest the bull flag and then go up. Let's see. Oh, man. Oh, no. I was sitting the wrong way. Ouch. Oh, that is not the right direction, SPY. Please. Dude. Is it because of Tesla? Oh, it might be because of Tesla, actually. Yeah, Tesla's curving back down again. Interesting. Do I be stupid and buy some Tesla calls? It's kind of tempting, honestly. That's what's hurting it, though. It's Tesla right now. You know what? I'm going to be stupid and try some... You know what? Yeah, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to try some Tesla calls, but I'm going to go for the 330. They're sitting around like 200-ish. Yeah, like 205. I'll probably add in a couple more as well, depending on how hard it dips. But the 330 at like 200. $330 call, 0 DTE at 2 point. What did I get in at? 2.05. I'm gonna add another one at 200 too. So we're at 200. Yeah, at like 200. And then I'm gonna go for spy calls again. Same price. Because it's just back in that bull flag again, and I think it can go. Jeez, I'm like thinking way too fast. Sorry. Except I can actually get in at 0.90 on these ones. It's just as risky still. Because it is, well, I mean, we're back to the same game plan, I guess, in a way. But it's the same idea again, pretty much. What I'm going to do, though, is I'm probably going to be extra stupid and go for SPX. We're just going to patiently wait. It would be funny, though, if Trump comes out and says that they're talking peace deals again. That would actually be, like, really entertaining. So we're still sitting at break even on Tesla calls. SPY calls slightly down right now. Okay, I don't think that bull flag is playing out. What's dropping? What is causing the drop? It's not Meta. This could be Google. It might be memory. Honestly, it's causing it to drop right. Yeah, it's memory. So it's MU. Yeah, MU is taking a dip. So I'll probably add to the SPY calls. I think memory continues going up. I'll probably go some like deep in the money MU calls. I'm not going to alert this because they're like really expensive. But I might take a snag at some MU calls. They're like $2,000 each, by the way. So I wouldn't alert that to my Discord. Definitely memory having a pullback though. So what it may do is it might retest like 1,000 here, maybe into the mid 900s, and then take off. We'll see. I'm going to add to my SPY calls as well. It's like at around 0.70 or so. I mean, everything's moving so crazy today. It might be back in 2 seconds, but the average on the calls is like 0.80. I can actually get a little lower. Okay. Let's see where this goes. If memory keeps dipping, then it's not good, obviously. That's in the event the memory keeps dipping. We'll see. Because I still want SPY to run up to 740, right? It's about $1.50 away. Hims? Is Hims having a pump? What? What happened? What in the world happened? It was like a 10% move. Okay, I just took an add to SPY. I need to look this up. FDA panel votes to place popular peptide BPC on compound. Oh, interesting. Peptide news. That's a tweet worthy. Interesting. Let's check how SPY is doing. Is it still dipping? It shouldn't be. It should have started to bounce. Huh. Interesting. SPY is still dipping. I think it's due to... I think it's still due to memory. Yeah, it's still due to memory. Okay, so here we are in like the mid 990s. We'll see if MU bounces here now. If not, then I might have to cut SPY. because a continued drop in memory is going to cause tech to eventually catch up. This actually isn't good. Might have to cut him. Yeah, because we're down 2%. We'll see. If it doesn't return back up to 1,000 quick, then I'm going to have to sell out. See how our Tesla position's doing. Tesla probably dipping with the market overall as well. It looks like it held 21. We'll see if we head back up. Sorry, I had to talk with my mom for a second. How are these looking? Did we bounce yet? No, Tesla's bouncing. That's good. How's MU doing? MU still slightly dipping. How's SPY doing? Not SPY. And SPY's bouncing. Okay, good. All right, we'll see how much it bounces. We'll see if the bounce holds. HIMS, by the way, so going back to HIMS, HIMS had some peptide news, right? They got approved for something, I think. So that's big news. It's funny because weren't we just talking about HIMS earlier this morning? How I said I think it'll get back up to, what did I say? The 50s, right? That's kind of crazy that we were just talking about that this morning. How do we receive the reward from yesterday's Discord giveaway? I announced that earlier in the stream that I'm going to be taking care of that today after the market closes. I'll just be DMing you guys. Personally, actually, no, I can't do that because of the scammers. I'll find a way. I may tag you in chat or something. I'm not sure where the most appropriate place is to ask this first with the giveaway and ensure the product. Yeah, so the giveaway, yeah, it'll be in the. I'll take care of that today after market close. We expecting a bounce here soon on Tesla? Yes, I do think. I took some Tesla calls, really risky, obviously, because I want a move back up. But MU and memory is dragging things down a bit. Just a bit. We'll see though. Like an MU return back up to 1K is probably expected. SPY calls are bouncing, by the way, so we'll see if those go back up to break even. At 0.65 right now. I think my average is 0.75. We'll see how that goes. The Tesla call really isn't that much of a concern. It's sitting at 1.92, so it's close, right? Let's see how my swings are doing. It's all risky, by the way, so it's a really risky day. It's not a day to really go heavy on anything. My Weeble calls still in the same range, and TSLL is still sitting in the same range as well. I may try to go for a couple more, though, swings. Once this hymns spike finishes off, I might go for some leaps. We'll see. We'll see if it pulls back or not. It depends. It depends. Can we get a glimpse of Altori? Not the client itself yet. I can't show that yet. I can show screenshots, but not the client. There's legal reasons why. That'll all be explained later, though. But for now, like what you guys have seen me do with the screenshots, that's pretty much what I can do for now. So, sorry. I'm glad you're enjoying the Discord. We've been making a ton of improvements. We added, let's see, over the last couple weeks, we added Valerie, right? Valerie's awesome. We added her. We added Mark. Mark is phenomenal. He comes over from a really small Discord, by the way. For those of you who don't really know much about him, he comes over from a small Discord. Absolute gem that I found this guy. Fantastic individual. You're going to see a lot more of him in the community for sure. And then we added, of course, I added JPM as well. He's phenomenal. AK has his own Discord, but I've added him as having his own channel over in our community. We'll see. I'm trying to convince him to join us full time. The other one too is we have J-Lock with us now as well. He was looking for a community and he wanted to keep his alerts on Discord, so we reached out to him. We asked him, we're like, hey, why don't you just alert your challenge over here? So he's like, all right, cool. We still got Dragon, of course, but yeah, just the group as a whole is fantastic. Really amazing how much we've accomplished in the last, the last 2 months or so. By the way, SPY calls are doing well right now. They're back up to break even. We'll see if we can continue with the momentum up. Tesla's sitting back at break even again as well. But yeah, like the Altori group as a whole has really been growing really fast recently. I'm sure many of you guys have already noticed that, but it's really been taken off. When would you say you have a go-to strategy indicator, or would you say you have a go-to strategy indicator or method of setting price levels and setting? Yes, I do. I'm not sure how long you've been in the Discord with us, but basically, my primary strategy over, um, actually, it's been a good amount of time that I've been using this strategy is basically the opening range break strategy. It's designed for early morning price action. That's been my primary strategy over the years. That is going to be incorporated into the new Altori system design. So it's going to be a little deeper, and I've been using my strategies, as backtesting and stuff, but there's going to be more to just like opening range breaks and stuff. From yielding the most wins, though, yeah, it's always been the opening range. When is JLock's account starting? He said he was going to start next week, I think. He said he wanted to start next week. What's good, Breakdown Sniper? Yeah, I'm starting up the live streams again, so. A lot of people were like, well, you were doing them, why did you stop? So, I'm back. Everybody relax. Another thing, too, I'm going to be adding to the Discord for everyone is I'm going to be running, I was talking about this earlier in the stream. I'm going to be running a competition for small account challenges, right? I feel like I can pick up a few influencers and get them to run a competition on small accounts and see which one has the most gains after a single month, or maybe we'll do like 2 months. I don't know. Maybe we can vote on it or something. I think that would be fun. What is the meaning of Altori? Altori is actually, it comes from an Italian. It's an Italian phrase, Italian word. It comes from alto too, which means like one or top. When we came up with it, I have a lot of Italian and German in me, and a couple of the other folks, they also have a lot of talent. So we're like, why don't we come up with like an Italian name for the company, right? So that's how we originally got the term, or the name Altori. I missed mentioning Zenith. Zenith knows I love him. Okay, Zenith has been with me since day one. Okay, I don't need to mention Zenith. He knows that I love him. But in all seriousness, Zenith actually is awesome. Dude's been with me since I think since the community was started. Yeah. Yeah, Zenith is playing a big role in the new client that we're building. A lot of the math and stuff, he's behind. Very smart guy. But yeah, he's been with me forever. I didn't forget about him. Don't worry. Zenith, if you're watching, I didn't forget about you, okay? I love you, dude. Spy's dipping again. I was hoping it would keep going up. I still have my calls. Memory, it's memory that's dragging it down, by the way, in case you're wondering. Because MU's back down to 990 now. So unless we see memory bounce, our spy calls are not going to go well. So it's entirely up to memory. Tesla's still sitting like right at break even, so I'm not concerned about Tesla in this situation. I'm more concerned about the spy calls. Which is, yeah, it's memory right now. MU, I might actually like officially take a stab at some MU calls. Can we do this more often? Yeah, I will be for sure doing this more often. Like I said, everything is temporary right now. I am back at my parents' place, you know, helping the whole situation with my dad after his stroke. So things are a little rocky for a little bit, but I'm only going to be here for probably a couple months. Actually, he's improving super quick. It may be. I was originally thinking probably until October. It might be until September, so might be a bit quicker. He's recovering really quickly. I actually saw your first another Discord with the Flint options bot they had in there. Yeah, so that goes back. I still have that bot, by the way. I do alert, but they're not like the VIP alerts here from the Discord. It's a different place, but I still have that. But I'm glad you found me that way. I used to alert for a community called what was it called? House of Traders is where I originally started with Mr. Lorenzo. Really cool guy, actually. And then I went from there, and then was kind of off on my own for a little bit, and then I founded this one. Yeah, that was years ago. That was like 5 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago. Clint rocks, Italian, Lambo, Ferrari. Honestly, dude, I just like living a simple life. I have a Trobos Silverado, and I have a sports bike and a Tesla, and that's good enough. I don't need anything else. I hate this whole thing of like people start making money in the stock market and they're just like, oh, I need to spend it. I need to look like I'm rich. Like, dude, nobody cares. Am I a basement dweller? I guess you could say, well, I'm in my old room, right? So I'm the oldest of all the 12 kids in this family. So I kind of have like throughout the years priority of where I wanted to sleep or put my stuff. And I set my desk up in my old room. So it's really nice. But yeah, I guess you could say I'm a basement dweller for the next couple months, right? No, it's tough because my younger brother's the older ones, right? Because I'm 25, and then I have a few, under me that all go to college, all have jobs, right? And I happen to be the only one that day trades and plays the stock market full time, right? So I have the opportunity to do the most therapy with my dad. Basically, I'm trying to think. Yeah, because even my sisters, they're doing like summer college and stuff. Basically, I'm the only one because the stock market closes at 1, and I do some therapy with my dad. So basically, he has to do therapy for like 2 hours a day, I think. So we do like walking. He has to move his right hand and his speech, right? So he doesn't have he's not good at his speech, he's not good at his walking or his right hand, right? He's getting a lot better, but it requires a lot of therapy. And that's why I'm basically home for a little bit. It sucks because I have to pay for my other, the place where I live and stuff as well, but it's worth it. Because my dad's still young. He's like 50, 56, 55, so. Rocking Italian bastard out of a Ferrari. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like a Ferrari, it's just really overrated. I know you probably don't hear many people say that, but it's overrated. Sorry, I was watching my SPY position. SPY's back up. It went up again. It just needs to keep going. I want to see 740. 740, and I won't complain. I promise. But going back to my dad, yeah. So it's only going to be temporary. And then what I told a lot of my folks is that I'm going to start doing face camera on the live streams because I think that would be cool. And that way you guys can see my emotions in real time on how much I am having so much fun, you know, on choppy days and stuff. MU sort of bouncing. We'll see. We'll see how much it goes. If it wants to keep going. Weeble is up. Yes, that is correct. Weeble is up. I just got that. What was your job before you traded full time? So I did a lot of school, right? Accounting. And then before that, I worked in, believe it or not, completely unrelated field. I used to work in construction down in Arizona. So having to deal with the Arizona heat and construction is awful, right? But it was with a the guy who owned the company was one of my good friend's grandpa, right? And he kind of got me into it when I was a kid, right? So I was like, I think I was like 18, 17. I think it was like 17 or 18. And then, yeah, I got into construction and I did that for a couple years. And it actually, honestly, I love that job. It taught me a lot. The heat, Arizona heat absolutely sucks, but it taught me a lot. I don't regret doing that at all. But also, like, towards the end of me working in construction, it allowed me, you know, during off times and stuff, allowed me to, like, start studying about the stock market. Where and how did you learn so much on options trading, especially young age? There, YouTube and early Chat GPT, honestly. And when I tell you I spent days researching, I'm talking about days. Like, I had a whole 2 summers that I just devoted to completely isolating myself, not going anywhere, not doing anything, and just like diving into the stock market, right? A lot of my stock market knowledge actually comes from, it's completely self-taught. Just took a lot of devoted time. We'll see if SPY keeps going here. It'd be awful if we entered a chop. That would really suck. How many years have I been in the stock market? It's been 5 years. Yeah, 5 years. How long did it take me to go full time? It took me about 2 years to go full time. I've been doing this full time for only the last 2 or 3 years. Yeah, it seemed pointless to work any other job because I was making like literally a fraction of the amount, and it was just wasting my time. And people suck sometimes. Your Alpha has a heart of a Ferrari with the 2-cylinder missing. Yeah, I mean, rocking that Italian spirit. Italian cars are nice, okay? Don't get me wrong. I just think the whole, you know, Ferrari thing is just a little overrated. I wouldn't spend my money on that. I'd rather like a nice brand new truck or something. I mean, my truck is pretty much new, but if I didn't have a truck and I had that kind of money that I have, I would spend it on a truck. Here's the thing, though. I'm like debating swapping in my current Tesla for performance. So you guys remember when I posted on X that I bought the standard because I wanted to try it out, right? But I think I want a performance. Dude, these bots on X. Like, how are they able to accomplish putting 15 scam bot comments on a single post, dude? It's ridiculous. Spy bouncing again. Let's see if it keeps going. You need memory. We need memory to have a good jump. I joined the stream late, but did you mention when the Altori system is estimated to go live? Yeah, so that's going to be a couple months out. I was talking about that earlier. I think we might be entering a chop zone. It would suck. Let's see. We'll hang on to these calls a little bit longer. Yeah, but going back to the overall growth of the community. I mean, I start on X earlier this year. I had 8,000 followers, right? And today, I think I'm running at almost 78. And on Discord, we only had 800 members. It's sitting at 12,000 now. Now, of that 12,000, how many are active? Probably only like 9,000 or so. But still, like, an absolute massive, growth in only 7 months. So I feel like in the next couple of years, I mean, we're only going to continue growing. Yeah, so unfortunately, it's really starting to chop up now. This market. I think we're entering a chop zone. I think we might lose these calls due to theta, actually. It might not even be because of stock price. If you were to do MU, what would you do? I would go long for a possible move back up to 1,000. Let me pull that up. Yeah, because I think we'll hit 1,000 real quick. We might reject, but I think memory has a little bit more to go. I mean, that was a nice pullback, but I don't think that's going to be the low. I think it'll keep going. SPY is the one that's kind of frustrating me right now because it's starting to chop, and Tesla's starting to do the same thing too. Tesla calls were green a second ago, but like everything's starting to now suffer from theta because we're losing our moves. Yeah, we were sitting green for a brief moment there, but the problem is we're now chopping, and that is like exactly what we don't want. If anything, the chop would be worse than a wrong direction move at this point because, well, I mean, a wrong direction move is bad, but like you need movement. You need things to keep moving. So we'll see. Also, what's frustrating is I can't pull this chat out of OBS. If there was a way that I could detach this. What would you say helped you overcome the psychological barriers to achieving profitability? The growth is impressive. For the stock market, honestly, start by sizing small. It all starts from, I don't think people understand this. You're not going to care. Well, I mean, you'll still care, but you're not going to be as emotionally attached to a position if you're really light in it. Like, so like if you're first starting in the stock market and you, let's say you enter like a SPY call with like 20 cons or something, you're going to be way more emotionally invested in that position than you would if you only had like 1 or 2 cons, right? Because when you have 1 or 2 cons, guess what? You can afford a loss, right? You can afford following some rules. You can afford making a mistake, right? That it would be my number, in my opinion, that would be the number one thing I would say start with is sizing small. Sizing small. Find any simple strategy, VWAP, opening range, RSI, MACD, find what you want because there's no one set strategy works, right? Everybody has their own thing. Everybody prefers a certain style, find your thing, and it's really just establishing those rules. But it's really about sizing. I would say start with sizing. There are definitely barriers to overcome with scaling up. I feel like mentally with using more money per trade. Yeah, that is, in my opinion, that is the biggest thing would be scaling, and sizing. Because if you're not size heavy, you won't be as emotionally invested, which means that you may start making smarter decisions. And as you grow your portfolio and you slowly size up, then those small size ups still feel like small sizes, right? So you're still not as emotionally invested. The big lie of the stock market is that you put money in and you can flip it overnight, right? That is the biggest lie of the stock market, and that's literally what the successful traders of the stock market want you to believe as the average individual, because that's the way they make money, right? So the closer you get to a days till expiration, will data reduce your potential gains regardless of what happens to the price action? Absolutely. Yeah. I actually have a if you go to the learning section in the Discord and you go to, I think it's under option strategy. I think it's the covered call one that I explain it. I forget or it might be the options Greeks channel. There's a section in the learning category in the Discord that explains this perfectly. But yeah, like the closer you get to the days till expiration, you're gonna deteriorate. I mean, the stock can sometimes, in some cases, I've seen it go up like significantly, and the options price will not move. It just simply won't move. Because theta is so bad. And that's exactly what you're experiencing right now on SPY calls. Like these should be up much more, but we're sitting still pretty low. Yeah, theta hurts. Unless you're selling options. The longest I can afford to go is Friday. Yeah, so I mean, if you're playing till Friday, then just play smart. The attachment to the outcome basically being light, so being sized incredibly small is what helped you. Yeah, absolutely. It's starting out small, because I actually started out, I'd made this mistake. I started out sizing large, lost a lot, and then I started again starting small, and it helped. Do you have a typical stop loss percentage you follow? I ask because I've been down with 80% stop loss for sometimes triggers, but then your position takes off and hits there. Yeah, zero. If you're referring to more like zero DTE, I have a very different like stop loss strategy that I use for zero DTEs, especially on like SPY and QQQ, because they are zero DTE on an index. Sometimes it moves so quick that I size for like 50%, minus 50% stop losses, right? If we're going for like swings, sometimes I bring that up a bit closer, like 30 or 40%. Compared to the majority of other analysts out there, and you guys all know this because you follow me, I definitely have a more generous stop loss, right? I'm usually pretty convinced, and actually my stats do prove that I am correct, like 75 to 80% of the time, but I allow a bit more generous of a stop loss because I usually do have good conviction in a direction. Do you have if it's not a huge favor request, need to run class course on risk management and position hold, basically just cutting loss early. I do. This is the number one thing that I have been getting a lot of questions on recently, is like a class on risk management, right? That is something for sure that will be coming, but I don't want to do it all by myself. I'll probably invite a couple other analysts, or I may even, here's an idea that I was thinking of a couple weeks ago, and this will eventually be a question. So if you're not in the stream, then you obviously won't know this, but for those of you who are in the stream, you're hearing this for the first time. I may specifically hire somebody for our Discord that gives advice on risk management on a regular basis, right? Now, I know that the alerts and the analysis is great and good, but I feel like there should also be a section for specifically risk management alerts, like studying and learning on a daily basis how to improve your risk management. So that's something that I am looking at adding to our community as well. SPY calls back up here to break even. I'm debating selling here, honestly, because these are taking forever. And they're sitting right at break even. But yeah, sorry, it's a lot of talking, but hopefully that explains, I hear most of the time 20 to 25%. That is typically most analysts would go for a 20 to 25%, even some pushing 30% stop loss. I push a little further down. And it's just a personal thing. If people don't like it, then they don't have to listen to me, right? It's not an order, But for me personally, I like to give a bit more generous of a stop loss. If we're talking like the safest, 20 to 25% would be your typical stop loss for sure. I do things a little differently. I previously used 50% stop loss and had more trades that sold a loss and the stock went to the moon right after. It depends if you were playing 0 DTE, because 0 DTEs can definitely take off fast, right? You can be down 80% and the next moment be up 500%. You see that with SPX all the time. Man, are Tesla calls ever going to move? I might have to, sorry, just position checking. I might have to close everything. Let's see, because the market's chopping. And I don't want to get theta killed. 80% is a huge stop. 80% is a huge stop loss. Yeah, you're right. But for some reasons, it worked better with options. My stock trade is single digit. I mean, yeah, a single digit, double digit, triple digit. It's, it's all the same. If you have strong conviction on a move continuing when you're heavy in the profit, how do you decide when to trim profit and move your stop losses up? It should be automatic. So typically, I think this is what a lot of analysts do. They usually trim for like 20 to 30% first. I always go for 20%, 20, 25-ish. And then I play stop loss to break even. What a lot of analysts do is they'll move their stop loss percentage up. So for example, they take a trim at 20% and they'll move their stop loss to minus 10%, right? From their original entry. There are different strategies to this, of course, but what I like to do, by the way, MU's taking off, which is great for SPY. But SPY wants to be stupid. What I like to do is take a trim at like 20 to 30%, right? And then I like to place my stop loss right at break even, typically. That's hard to do on 0 DTE plays. So sometimes I'll let some runners run a bit more, and you guys have seen me do that before. Yeah, like Peloton is down 30%, absolutely. But that is one that I did mention that I'm making an exception for, because I said that today, that it was down. I think that was like the first thing I talked about when I came on the stream. I mentioned that I was still going to hold those, but I probably am going to cut if we do dip a little further, right? It would just be worth, the 30 to 35% probably cutting here, honestly. I was really watching $6. I want to see if $6 held. The profit taking on the trims doesn't change at all. It's the same strategy. I usually go for 30% first on a trim with a swing. And I think question 2, I'll just answer it because I think a lot of folks do ask this as well, like how much I trim at the first trim. I usually try to go for like a third of the entire position at around like 20 or 30%, because a constant 20 to 30% is more than enough to stay consistent over time. Another question request, could you let us know if you are sizing big or small? It helps understand conviction. Yeah, that's another thing too that a lot of folks ask. By the way, SPY is not working out here. I might have to cut these in a second. It's chopping, and we're not even really like heading in a wrong direction because we bought these around here, like almost at like 20 cents lower, and the cons have crashed like 30% from theta burn. So it's really unfortunate. Hang on for a little bit longer to see if we bounce here, but I might have to cut these. And then I might have to trim, I might trim Weeble if it's still up. I think I might have to trim Weeble. What are those running at, like 15%? Oh, wait, what? Updating the Altor Research Journal, no trade since July. Oh, I forgot. Thank you for bringing that up, actually. Lackles had made me an updated. I need to update that. Thank you for pointing that out. No, it's being. I have it being updated. It just for some reason the link I guess isn't showing. Give me 1 second. Why is SPY doing this to me? Well, let's see. We might have to cut SPY. Tesla's still sitting at around break even. We'll see. I'm honestly surprised we haven't hit 740 yet. There's nothing stopping it from hitting 740. Yeah, I might hold Tesla till tomorrow. Yeah, SPY's at minus 25% right now. I might have to cut this. We'll see. I'm waiting in case it does decide to bounce here because it's like sort of ranging in a way. And like I said, I'm surprised it hasn't hit 740. Where do I think MU will go tonight? That will depend on Intel earnings. So I can't give a definite direction for that. Where do I think MU will go today? I'm hoping it stays above 1,000. Have I done any analysis to see if certain days of the week are more profitable for you, which might lead to go heavier on certain days? That's a good question. I'm only laughing because that's something that's going to be included in the Altori client. So, yeah, I'm probably going to have to cut SPY here. If we lose this, then I'm out. It's ridiculous. I think it's due to MU too. Well, that hurts. We'll see. Yeah, it's odd because the interesting Tesla. Everything's just chopping now. So we're going to lose any options trade that we take. Nothing's even really dumping that hard either. So I don't even know why. SPY is dumping. Oh, it might be NVIDIA, actually. Could be NVIDIA. Or Microsoft. Actually, I haven't checked Microsoft. No, Microsoft's just chopping. Everything's just chopping now. Man, I miss the days when things would just move nonstop. Sucks. Qs are down 2% again. Why am I targeting 740? It's the next oops, I did not mean to do that. It's a gravity level for me. Did I switch those? No. Yeah, it's a gravity level. After a bounce here, which was the level that I had drawn out this morning, it should have returned back up to 740. I mean, it came close, like within like 30 cents, 40 cents, but like it should have hit 740. Let's see. It's NVIDIA, by the way. It's dragging it down. How's the Russell doing? Oh, the Russell's down. Oh, the Russell isn't even down 1%. Interesting. Well, the Nasdaq's down 2% again, so tech is just continuing to suck. How's my SNXX doing? It's fine. It's hanging in there. So we'll see how those TSLL calls go. The Webull calls I might take a trim for if we head up a little more. Yeah, everything's starting to chop. How you invest in long term? It's just farther dated expirations on the options. All right. Well, if the market continues to drop, I'll update the positions in the Discord as I go, and when I close them. But we're just gonna. It looks like we're just chopping now, so I'll probably just wait. I may come back on for a live stream in another hour or so for Power Hour. We'll see. But for now, I'm just gonna sit this out and wait. So we shall see. If you guys have any other, I'm gonna do some charting tonight, some long-term analysis, and probably more on like my thoughts for when a market bounce could take place overall. And I'm talking about like on the daily for everything: SPY, Tesla, Google, as well as like thoughts for the upcoming Intel earnings. So I'll be putting stuff out for that. If you have other tickers you want me to look at or other companies, go ahead and post those in Discord. I always check the chat. I'm always there. I'm watching. Even if I'm not talking, I'm watching. Share them there. And then I can do some write-ups on them. But other than that, it's looking a bit choppy until probably Power Hour, and then we'll see. What I would expect actually is a very strong market bounce to take place. I think Intel earnings will be, I think they'll be good. If they're bad, we're gonna have a whole nother leg down tomorrow. It's gonna suck. But I think they'll be good. I think we'll be fine. Cool. With that all being said, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Do not size heavy. Stay safe. I will update my current positions later. Yes, I can do some analysis on Reddit and GLW. Post those in Discord for me. Alrighty. I will catch you all later.